Bob Dibble Show. Daily Pickle. Daily Pickle. Daily Pickle. It's a Daily Pickle.
If Kirk could write more lyrics to the groin injury and this little ditty, I'm telling you, we got a couple of hits on our hands. And Kirk gets all the money.
I don't know. AC/DC really didn't mix up their lyrics. I think you've nailed it. I think you just have
brilliant with it. It's simplicity.
Exactly. 2 and 3 minutes worth of this. Perfect. So we got some baseball action going on, my friend. We are bottom 9 right now as the Pods are trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead. Padres have a 12-hit game. Athletics only 2 hits, but hits don't count. It's only about the runs. There's a man on first, 2 outs. That one coming down to the nitty-gritty. Orioles getting waxed 7-0 right now, the Diamondbacks. Your Reds cannot get anyone out in the 7th, 8th, or 9th.
Okay, their bullpen sucks. They're not the nasty boys.
They were winning all game long, and now it's just a one-run affair. Giants closing the gap there. It's 6-5 Reds, top of 8. Dodgers, I thought they were going to go 50-5. They better start winning. They're 9-4 right now with the tie ball game. Top 7 against the Nationals? Yeah.
Dude, it's baseball. All these young kids, same thing in basketball. They got young legs. They're strong. They don't know they're supposed to suck.
So true.
It's their time. Listen, the Marlins, last couple of years, will shock people at how good some of these young players are. So we're always kind of like, and this reminds me of the Rays 25 years ago. Why are you drafting all these guys and letting all these other guys go? When they got young, they got better.
Yeah.
Problem is they don't keep their talent after 6 years. They want to trade them after about 4. That's the biggest problem there. But yeah, I think it's a lot closer than people think. And you could spend all you want, but you got to tell the other teams. You know?
I mean, speaking of which, 5-0, the lowest paying team in all of baseball, the Miami Marlins with the 5, the highest payroll in all of baseball, the New York Mets with the 0.
And right now the Marlins are 6-6 and could go to 7-6 and have as many wins as the Phillies. So my point being is it's not about what you spend. It's about your coaching staff. Kevin Cash is a great manager, but they've absolutely gutted the Rays the last couple of years. They don't want to spend a damn dime, because the ownership is fighting about a new stadium and all that other crap. The team is suffering and the fans are. Well, the Marlins aren't. You know, Derek Jeter bailed on this ownership group, and they kept plugging along. Gabe Kapler's one of the only recognizable names that I know in their front office. He's the assistant general manager. But, to be 6-6 through 12 right now, I honestly thought they'd be about 2-10.
Totally agree.
So, it goes to show you that this team, they don't have the greatest pitching, but they have enough pitching. Again, they'll probably trade July 31st Alcantara to the Yankees or somebody. But, they keep running out good young talent. And I guess they don't want to win championships, but they want to win enough games to keep people coming through the turnstiles.
Yes, I think so too. But you never know. Like you said, man, the Marlins have more World Series in the last 20 years than most franchises have in the last 100. It's a shame, but it's the truth. I was on Yankees, by the way. Yankees 4-3 winners today. That's another one that's in the books. And then the Cubs lost to the Rangers 6-2, and that is your final.
Cubs still 9-6, though, man. They've got a nice lead in the win column. Brewers have 6, and Cardinals, Reds, Pirates all have 5. There's not a team, even the Oakland Athletics. Really, the Braves are the most shocking 2-8 team in baseball. That's the best 2-8 team I've ever seen.
So true. They're about to pop, man. Like, it's only a matter of time for that team to really get rocking and start collecting a bunch of wins. Tough division, though, man. It's a tough neighborhood. It used to be a lot easier for the Braves, but nowadays with the Mets and the Marlins, like we're talking about, but of course the Phillies and everyone else that has gotten better, New York Mets.
You know who's loving this is Rob Manfred, because he's going, it's the has and the have not. Listen, let us get three months deep into the season, and we'll see how many teams are already out of the playoff hunt. That's why you put it up to 12 teams. Rockies are 2-8, Braves are 2-8, but that's Central in the National League, man. Skeens is making people a believer every fifth day. If they can get something in between, they're going to be decent if they could go to the postseason. I'll take Skeens up against anybody if this kid's healthy. And Hunter Green with the Reds, his first 3 starts has been unhittable. He's been fantastic. There's some guys that that are going to be all-stars if they continue this way. And if you surround them with some talent, they can actually probably win some postseason games.
Well, there are some IL guys out there.
One big Cubby.
Justin Steele just hit the 15-day IL after his start the other day. I saw Langford on the IL after he had a 4-hour start. So they put him down. There's a lot of pitchers, man. These arms are tender. It's April, so they've seen a lot of guys that have hit the IL as of late.
Well, the scariest thing for a guy in Chicago is elbow problems and in the cold. And tendonitis, if that's what it is, and it's nothing more, everybody experiences it. It's inflammation, it's painful, but it's not making you, cry when you throw a baseball. There's a difference in pitching between pain and injury. He wanted to keep throwing through it, but, dude, that arm's money. And so you're not going to have this guy throw through the cold in April when you can bring him back in May and have him for 5 months. So I think that's the right thing to shut him down is to really save him from himself.
Yeah. I got a quick little college baseball note. Our Hook C friends over there at Elliott Ballpark, Yankees bumped our broadcast of this game off the air, but a 12-3 lead, top 9, nobody on, 1 out. UConn up by 9 on Hofstra. Looks like Coach Penders and them boys going to add another one to the win total. After a beautiful day here. I mean, it's like nothing but blue skies. Oh, gosh.
So what, Hofstra's taking time out of their, pre-med schedule to play baseball?
Oh, yeah, man. They got a great program. They do.
Jeez.
They're in the Coastal. Now that they don't have football, they lean on their hoops and their softball and basketball or baseball programs.
Damn.
Down there in Hofstra. This story's, I think, the most concerning in all of Major League Baseball. These BUCCO bricks.
Oh, this is the worst story.
Oh, my gosh. So the Pittsburgh Pirates have to explain the disappearance of fan-funded bricks called BUCCO bricks. Now, you were reading into this. You were telling me that the money, yes, I see this right here.
The money goes to the Roberto Clemente Foundation.
Oh, my gosh. You were just speaking about this.
I just spoke at their foundation here in Hartford.
Oh, my gosh. So, yes, these bricks were very important and introduced in 1999. The team sold about 10,000 of them, and a number of bricks included messages, memorials honoring family members that were lifelong Pirates fans. And apparently they dug up those bricks for some renovations on PNC Park and never replaced them. And some people have found out about that and demand to have an explanation.
They found out about it because they were at a recycling plant about to be destroyed.
Oh, my gosh.
So they were on pallets. They're going to destroy them. And thank God, someone, not like the cook in Detroit, somebody was like, you know what? This doesn't look right. These are, I've seen these when I've gone to Pirate games.
Oh, yeah.
We can't incinerate them or crush them or whatever. And so thank God someone grabbed them before these idiots threw them away. I'll tell you what, the ownership group, this is on the owners when you do this kind of crap. Because you had the Ricketts redo Wrigley. They didn't destroy it. They didn't hurt the tradition of it. They just gave it a new, breath of fresh air, new life.
So we got to give our props to KDKA TV, local TV station that kind of broke this story and knew where the bricks are coming from. And there has been a quote put out by the Pittsburgh Pirates Communications and Broadcasting.
What, we effed up?
A little bit. Through the years, a host of environmental factors, including weather and foot traffic, have led to significant damage, leading to multiple or full-scale replacements. This cycle of deterioration prompted our organization to look for a better way to preserve these cherished messages over the long term. We respect and appreciate and understand just how meaningful these messages are. We share in that feeling. We have been actively planning to develop and unveil a more permanent display of these special messages to honor the enduring support of our fans.
But that's not what I paid for. My dad died in 97.
Yeah.
in 1997. If I was honoring my father, and I'm looking at a picture right now, dude, it is at a recycling place in piles. They're not in pallets like the first thing I read. They're in piles. This is CBS News now I'm looking at because you know how quick people jump on these stories.
Yeah.
But, oh, my God. They took a dump truck and dumped them off the back of the dump truck.
Oh, no.
So now some of them are broken. But this is what I'm saying. You know, these are the people that have been coming to Pirate games for decades and generations. And you basically said, you know what? They're worn. They don't look so fresh. They're not shiny and new anymore. Let's get rid of them.
I have two out in the world that I know of for sure. Like, I remember when the first YMCA was built in my hometown, my mom bought my sister and I bricks. And I still go back, man. I pointed out there, like, hey, man, there I am. That's my name. And then one in Wilmington, North Carolina, where we did a Miracle League field, like we just did one for Vernon for the Miracle League of Northern Connecticut. Same kind of concept, and a fundraiser that we had was buy a brick. You can go down to the one in Wilmington, you see Ben Darnell on a brick on a little sidewalk, and hopefully they never tear that out. And if they did, I would hopefully be like contacted about it, and like at least they tell me that they're going to do that, and maybe give me the brick. Like, I paid for that brick, and it was a lot more than what a normal brick costs. I understand you got to engrave it and whatnot, but still, I would like the brick.
All right, let me give you some other quotes other than the story. It says, names and memories sit in a pile of debris like a hurricane, while just simple bricks. So this is a father, Mark Robinson. Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. He goes, that's my brick. I mean, my daughter's name is literally on the brick.
Man.
It's mine. I paid for it, and they just got rid of it. It's awful. One of 10,000 that had been there for 25 years. They were sold in 1999 before the opening. First of all, my wife and I have been there. I went to the All-Star game there and worked there.
Yep.
It's one of the most gorgeous parks and you probably could have redone it. Hey, you know, we know that you spent, I just did the math. If you did $100 for the 10,000, it's $1 million that went to the thing.
Yeah.
So for $1 million, and there's somebody doing a story right now, they could have redone these for $1 million and just put them back and given them like a fresh coat of paint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of, they tore them out, put them in a dump truck, took them to a recycling place and dumped them, and then they got caught.
No one's going to notice.
Nobody's going to notice all those names on those gray bricks.
I think that it was a Yankees fan that was mad about the loss in Pittsburgh, kind of like Bellinger and the Hot Wings, and they are going to make Pittsburgh look bad because they're the ones who found out about it.
All right, so now you got to dig. What's the connection Bellinger has to Pittsburgh?
It was so true. I don't know.
Did he drive through there once?
I'm sure he hit some home runs against them when he was a Cubbo, maybe a Dodger. Maybe he's broken their hearts a couple of times. I don't know. Something's connected here, though.
Well, geez, we beat him in the playoffs, so I hope they never track me down when I'm eating wings.
I don't know, man. I do think that park is beautiful, and I do think, like, I hate looking at empty ballparks anywhere, and Pittsburgh doesn't have much to throw at their fans to say, like, come on, man, we're winning. We got some great stars. Like, they got Skeens now, and that's always a good start. Like, you'll see people in the stands. Well, for the most part, the Pirates fans that I know are lifelong, especially if they were born before the 70s and the whole We Are the Family team. Like, those are really good fans that I'm assuming are buying those bricks for family members that have always been fans.
Cincinnati has one of the best Hall of Fames right attached to their stadium, and it's awesome. I go back there all the time, and they have us do stuff. And they have all these new statues and things like that, like Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan. I know Pete Rose has the one where he's diving head first.
Yep.
Nice bronze statue. So this is right around. They pulled these out from around the Bill Mazeroski statue from the Hall of Fame. So Hall of Famer, Bill Mazeroski, this stuff surrounded him. So like you're saying, the draw is, Grandpa Joe died.
Yeah.
So we bought him a brick,
and
it's right near Bill Mazeroski. Let's go to the game. I know they're going to lose, but let's go to the game and check out the bricks. And it's the memories flood back to these people and make them want to keep coming.
Yeah.
You want the recurring business. These people don't care. Nah, you know what? Listen, one thing that really irritated me after the whole Barry Bonds thing with the Giants, they ripped out, because I went back there a few times after that, they ripped out everything that was put in the bricks, put in the walls. Like Barry Bonds helped build their new stadium.
Yeah.
They pulled it all out and just redid it because they wanted nothing to do with Barry after the whole scandal and the steroids, et cetera. So, this is the owner's way of saying we don't give a crap what the fans think. And that's what's sad because I love Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I think it's a great ballpark. I think it's a great place to play. Go out. The fans are great to you. But that's some low-level stuff right there. Somebody needs to pay for that.
You kind of took the words out of my mouth. Like, I say this to everybody, especially when I rage against the no people in the seats in Major League Baseball. And everybody's
Give the tickets away to kids.
So agree. Like, just get a better look for your television product because you care about the TV product. That's the only thing you care about, the money coming in. The hot dogs, the parking, even though it's so absorbent and you're gouging us like crazy, they don't need that money. That money is just literally cherry on top. They get so much money from these rights fees, from all of these TV, radio, what have you, just to get their games out there. So when you see stuff like this, like it is just another reminder to me, ownership groups, individual ownership groups, some are different than others. I like to think my Ricketts friends from Wrigley treat us well, but
I think they're invested in the fans.
But
they give you a great experience.
I still know that they care about being on television way more than they care about Wrigleyville being inside their ballpark. And of course, Pittsburgh. If you've watched Pittsburgh Pirates games on television, no one's in those stands unless Skeens is pitching.
As a Cowboys fan, I'll raise you with Jerry Jones to your Ricketts.
Oh, for sure.
My guy wants to be the quarterback at 90 years old.
But also, and he does sell as much as he can. Like he's selling tours for his fan base to go watch the guys lift weights. And like it is a money grab to get to your fans, but like there's still access that he's green. I think Jerry Jones is very pro-fan. Very pro-fan. He's not like Ballmer in the Clippers.
I can tell you Marge Schott was very pro-fan. She would find out who's got the lowest bleacher prices, like center field out in the second deck, and she would make sure hers was always lower. That was her thing. She said, I love you, fans. She sat with the fans. She signed autographs. And I know everybody hated her on the bigotry and the racism stuff, right? But as far as like the fans and giving back to the zoo and the children's hospitals and stuff like that, which she donated millions of her own money to, she'd sit there and be with the fans because that was her thing, man. She loved the Shotzi paw when she signed their things and stuff like that. So she kind of, she had kind of a bond with them. This is, for me, twofold because you screwed the people that bought the bricks that were thinking – the memory of my family member that I'm putting on here is going to last for as long as this stadium is standing. And then it's going to an even better foundation, the Roberto Clemente Foundation, which is about helping other people.
I know.
And that's what blows my mind. So it's like you didn't just screw the people who brought the bricks. You screwed the Roberto Clemente Foundation, which is trying to do humanitarian effort stuff around the world. So I just... Did anybody sit down at this meeting and go, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do that with the bricks? Maybe we should, take them out in the middle of the night and then put them somewhere and make them disappear so we can't get caught.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. What do you got, Kurt?
Sandy just called, and she just found out about that she's got 4 bricks.
No way!
Yeah, she found out from this program.
I'm sorry, Sandy.
Sandy, call the Pirates now.
She didn't want to come on.
Get your bricks.
Their long history would go in there. Stargell, way back.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
And
dude, Willie Stargell, I've been giving blood after my father died of leukemia. I've been giving blood at the Willie Stargell things for 20 years.
Yep.
I mean, that's another whole thing. That is just like all the Pirates that used to, play there were all about giving back. And this is about, you know what, these are getting all beat up, stepped on. We got to get rid of them.
I know.
I love it, actually, because it's perfect to be able to bash an owner every now and then.
Well, I think it's going to turn, man. I really do think it's going to turn. Like, I loved hearing the stories I love how Arthur Blank has the lowest concessions in the NFL and makes the most profit. I love what Ballmer is doing with the Clippers, and look how their success has grown. Like, no one talks LA Clippers; they're fourth in the West right now, and they've got a shot, and they're a tough place to play at home because their fans are so involved with the game because they can get freebies off of missed free throws.
It's an absolute fan experience extravaganza. With the light show and the better fan you are, you get graded on it and you get rewarded when you come back.
Love that.
I mean, the more you clap, the louder you are. It's got things like that built in that they know how good of a fan you are. So you're being judged on your fandom.
Another one that I loved hearing, and this was just last week, Coastal Carolina came out and said all of our football games are going to have free concessions. If you buy a ticket and you get into a Coastal Carolina football game, you're going to have to pay for alcohol and beer. We can't give that away, but we can give away all the soda, all the popcorn, all the hot dogs, pizzas, nachos. If you want it, you got it. They just want butts in the seats. I've been to Coastal so many games, and every time I go in there with players that I played football with in the past, like, man, this place is awesome. This is like an unsung venue. Like, why doesn't anyone come? I don't know. I have no idea why people don't come to that game.
Where's the Big East tournament for baseball? Because isn't that where they give away free ice cream?
Mason, Ohio. Yes, it's kind of like Xavier's home turf, but they don't even really play there during the regular season. It's all free. Everything is free at the Big East tournament.
This is where Mike Crispino has to go every year because the ice cream's free.
Double fisting ice cream cones. That dude. And he's probably supposed to be on the air for 5 minutes, but he's been at the ice cream stand the whole entire
the skinniest guy among us, by the way.
He ate a pound of ice cream, and he weighs 75 pounds. Like, how is this guy doing it?
Every time I see Mike, he gets skinnier and I get fatter.
I do think it's changing, though, man. I do think that the fan is going to start winning out, and I think Major League Baseball, unfortunately, is going to be the last to do it.
But I agree with you. We got to push for this, giving the tickets away.
Yeah.
Because the yard goats do a great job. The weekday games where they know they're not going to have a lot of fans. They bring in these school kids that wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity to go to a ball game. They do some schoolwork, some math problems, some different stuff, and at the same time they get a great experience. And there's no better way to grow the game than that.
They're going to be yard goat fans for life.
Why did the Major League not figure this out? And as you were saying this, I was thinking about this. So the schedules come out like what, 6 months in advance of the season? You know when those day games are coming out in April, right?
Yeah.
Why can't you in December or January or right before spring training be like, okay, we know we're not going to get a lot here, so we're going to hold back like 20,000 tickets. We're going to give them away, And you can even raise money. If your school raises enough money, they get the better seats. And that money goes to the homeless or some charity, some, food share stuff. There's just so many ways to pay this forward instead of like putting the tickets in a box in the corner or pulling up the bricks and dumping them in a garbage dump.
Yeah, that's a little bit better than the garbage dump.
I had to tie that in.
I love it.
It's an awful story, but thank God there's some like sleuth out there that caught it.
Hell yeah.
Didn't let it go. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Joe Farrell, defender. Hartford Athletic is going to join us next. We're going to talk some Hartford Athletic and also talk about a guy who is from Pennsylvania and Bluebell, Pennsylvania at that. Joe Farrell joins us on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. Thank you so much for keeping us on the air. Kurt Kaplan on the ones and twos. Anybody doing video today?
John's here. He's rocking it out.
Oh, my God. John Ashmead. Yeah. Oh, he's the best. Him and Nick Federico. We'll be right back.
84 westbound.